Hey everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Prehistoric Kingdom, and this is again our camp prehistoric build, but today we're going to build something completely different. We are going to build the Camarasaurus, or the Camara Springs, as I call this episode. So we are basically opening up the entire park a little bit, and we are going to go into like a little river delta that is going to be fed by a little spring. Yeah, so to say, a little lagoon. It's not even like a lagoon, it's more like little spring tubs that do fit in. It's kind of inspired by these kind of salt pools in Turkey. At least that's what I've visited so far, so that's the only thing I have some kind of inspiration from. And you know what, this was basically, obviously, down to the fact that we finally have the waterfall VFX, and I wanted to do something with it. But I will say also, and this might not be the most clever thing to say at the beginning of an episode, but you know, this is kind of honest content. I'm not like 100% happy with the end result quite yet, but I needed to make a cut here in the episode because I think I have to branch out quite a bit more in the next episodes to really solve that issue that I have with it. But I'm going to talk a bit more about this in the real-time part, because it's not like, it's very nitpicky from my side, to be honest. I think it still looks very cool, but there's a little bit going on with the game that I think I have to take the game a little more differently. I have to do like a little take on it, because it just doesn't work the way it is. But I'm going to talk about this a bit more in the real-time part, and maybe if the devs are watching, hey, by the way, I have some words to maybe how this could be improved, as a little bit of a feedback here and there. But other than that, I was really happy with how that worked out. So yeah, this is, as you can see, the little spring area over here with all these little pools that have the water dribbling down into the area. And I was trying to play around a little bit with the terrain, and I'm still a bit confused because some terrain brushes do very nicely transition into the other one, and some others just don't. They just have a very harsh way of going into each other, which I still don't know what exactly that is. So yeah, I have to really get the hang of which texture works best with which other texture, but I think we are getting there. The more we are testing it, the better it's going to become. Now, I did also do a little bit of a, oops, I just completely hit my microphone here. Man, this didn't happen in a very long time. But yeah, so I really hope that this works out pretty well here with the trees and stuff. And also I needed to use a whole bunch of rocks and stuff to make the face over here look a lot more realistic, because when you do the kind of trick I used with the terrain tool to make these pools very close to each other in order to combine them with the VFX, you have to basically use the tool to your favor or to your advantage, and then it creates this very crazy sharp edges. But it seems that the texture can't really deal with this sharp edge, and you have to basically hide it away by using some rocks and stuff. And if you do some drinking games and you do drink something every time I say basically, I hope you are stopping to watch this episode now, because I don't want to be the reason for you not having a great day. I'm sorry for that. I just noticed this myself right now. I also recently watched the video of mine, and then I figured, okay, I have to tune down a little bit on the obviouslies and whatevers, and actually and all this kind of stuff basically in the videos. It always reminds me of the Sam Denny video that Sylph made one day. Really good video though. But I think one of the biggest advantages of making these voiceovers is to become a lot more aware of what you say and how you put the things together. Not saying that my English is perfect, but you really get a bit of a better feeling of when to use which word and find some words to avoid awkward breaks and stuff. But however, the more you get into the groove, it obviously happens that you do have some words that you use all of a sudden as kind of a gap filler, or on the other hand, to just round off your sentences. And I'm trying to improve myself upon that all the time, trying to get more and more words into it, and it always helps to speak with actually English speaking people. But since, for example, Koali Beach and Koali Zoo, I have to say, has not been recorded that often in the last couple of weeks, simply because a certain mic has the file at the moment, and things are happening. I can tell you, things are happening. It's definitely going forward. It's crazy, but there is is still a bit of time that needs to be put into it. Hence, I haven't had the chance to talk much with other people, which is always the best thing to improve your language. Anyways, this is not really what I wanted to talk about. It just came to my mind that I just wanted to quickly talk about that. But you can see that this little spring area becomes a lot more nice looking right now. You can create such a cool looking area in really a short amount of time in this game, simply because rescaling and stuff, that really helps a lot by making things look better. And you can see also with the terrain maps, I'm trying to make sure that the depth and stuff is all perceived well here with the water ponds. I quite like how the water system works with creating certain depths with the brush. It really makes you basically, it just gives you the chance to readjust the depth of the water later on again. And I think that's pretty cool, because in Planet Zoo, for example, you always have to get rid of the water, then just adjust it and put it back in. I think it's a good solution. I'm still not quite aware of how it will work at one point with the animals, and I'm also still having a bit of a trouble to understand when animals can go through the water and how deep it can be and when not. Maybe I have not seen the information that is given somewhere, but apparently I don't know exactly what. Now we're coming to our first viewing area of this build, but there will be more of those, but I'm going to talk about this a bit in the next episode. So this is going to be like a little bunker that is sitting right across the other side of the river, where you can have a look onto the springs. Now it is secured quite a bit, and the reason for that is not that I think the Camarasaurus is so dangerous. I think the potential of this is that we can have a huge area with a lot more dinosaurs in there, and I want to make sure that this is maintained to be an area that the animals can roam in freely without being annoyed by the people. But that also means that the people are mostly hidden away for the dinosaurs, and this is what I wanted to achieve here with this little bunker build. It's not the most beautiful looking bunker quite yet. It's more a proof of concept, and I'm going to make sure that there is a lot more detail in the next episodes. But the next episodes will actually focus on making sure that this entire river delta becomes a thing, and we will have a couple of viewing towers, we will have some more of these bunkers, and we are going to have a couple more bridges across there. So this is what I'm planning, but I wanted to make sure, first of all, that we have a certain location in which everything is set right now, and I'm quite sure that this is definitely fulfilling the task at this point, and I'm quite happy with the end result of today's build. It was quite a struggle. There's a couple of things I did not include into the video because there was a lot of struggle going on with making the river have the right form, because apparently smoothing out the terrain alongside the riverbank is creating some weird shapes in the river, so I always had to redo the river again, and this is why it took a bit of time. And I gotta say, and this might be my first actual criticism of all the creative tools we have in this game, even though they are 99% absolutely amazing, I'm not the biggest fan of the terrain tool quite yet. It's very solid, and it's among the best terrain tools I've ever seen in a game, but knowing the terrain tool of Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster is always a stretch, because this is just, for me personally, but I think also a lot of people will agree, the best terrain tool, voxel terrain tool out there. And I had my struggles with this one, mainly because of the way how aggressive it is at point, but then again it feels almost like as if it has a little delay, so it's a bit of a weird one. If you put the intensity too high, it kind of feels like too aggressive, and if you put the intensity too low, it starts to become a little bit of a delay, and then you just stop doing something with the brush and it just keeps on doing a tiny bit, so it's always like a forth and back, which is weird. But at the end of the day, it's very solid and you can do a lot with it. I'm just the only thing that we all know that this is the way it is, but since you can't do anything beyond 90 degrees and have no overhanging terrain for cliffs and stuff, that is obviously a little bit of an issue, and I'm still hoping that they will look into that in the future, because like with the voxel base it should be possible. I know that they talked about that. I forgot every single detail about this, but I would be a big fan of having that as well, because that changes the way how you can use the terrain also to include your guest area and stuff. And as you can see, the bunker, I would have loved to put the bunker actually below ground, and I'm still considering to put like a big rock shape on top of it to make sure that it actually is looking as if it is below ground. At this point, that's something I'm going to consider. But yeah, just fixing a couple of things here and there, putting some final VFX in, and yeah, I'm very happy with the end result, I might say. It's really looking the way I wanted it to, and I think the way how the textures of the ground and the water VFX and stuff works together, it is all pretty decent, and yeah, I think it's definitely translating the look and feel I wanted, and I hope that for all of you who were quite vocal about the point that they didn't want to have too much Jurassic Park, Jurassic World inspiration, are very happy now that we are going to do our own thing here, and I just did the treehouse because I wanted to do it, and it's going to be by no means the basis or foundation for our architectural style. We are going to build a wonderful camp prehistoric, and we do what we want, and this is going to be the style of it, and this is our spring. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this so far. Now let's jump over into the real-time part and have a look how this actually looks in the game. Alright, so here we are, guys, in the real-time part. Let me just quickly check if the weather and stuff is on the right. There you go. This is quite a nice view, and you can see, funny enough, our Parasaurolophus. Oh my gosh, I just named them wrong the whole time. I just were missing out on some letters in the middle, so it's a Parasaurolophus and not the Parasaurolophus. I don't know what I just even say beforehand. But here you can see our Camarasaurus are actually all in the springs, and we can actually go, if you guys want to follow me, we can go in here and disable the HUD for a second, and there you go. This is the view you have. What are you doing there, mate? What are you doing? Are you doing good? This is the view you have from the bunkers, and I think it's a kind of nice view that you do actually have from over here. But what I also want to have is certainly a view from, yeah, more likely something like this. So we are going to build like a tower over here, so that is going to give you this wonderful overview, or maybe even a tower somewhere here so you can see the springs that way. But I think I'm a very big fan of it. And now, the one thing I wanted to talk about is something, and before I do say something wrong, I just want to quickly double check if I haven't seen that one. So I think there is no depth of field available. Atmospheric quality, vegetation texture, it's all on the highest possible, so there is no real thing over here. Quality preset is the highest available. VSync is on. No, there isn't. I think it would be really great to have an option for depth of field, because I certainly don't like how the backdrop looks at this point. The graphics in the foreground are just so insanely good, but the background just comes, like, it falls so short and almost gets this little pixelated vibe. So even in this screenshot mode, it is becoming a lot more obvious, and I think it would be really cool if we could have a depth of field potential in here, and I think there is a way that they want to bring this in. You can see there is some option for fog already and distance and stuff. I think it is considered, so yeah, I'm just kind of confirming what I think they already thought about, but I'm still quite a bit optimistic that we get it anyways. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly mention that simply because I think that really would improve the overall way of how it's looking. But yeah, this is floating a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I just put the game through its paces already, because, you know, I'm just building these weird springs at the first thing here, and, you know, not really waiting for anything. Actually, this looks also pretty cool from here, like if all these big trees in the background. Can we also change the time of day real quick so we have it from the... Look at that. That looks even cooler now with the... There you go. This is very screenshot worthy. I'm going to bring this a little bit further back. I love it here with the plants and stuff. You can see the Camarasaurus here. Oh, I just love that. Also with the water from above. Just looking really cool here with the bunker and stuff. Can we just make the time of day a little bit? There you go. Change the light angle again. That looks fantastic. This looks so good. That looks really cool. And yeah, this is by the way, this is the location, just so you get a feeling to where it is and how big this area actually is. Yep, the shadows are kicking in. Where is the treehouse again? I'm confused. Woozle. Whoops, there's the treehouse. So, my god, I hope you guys are not motion sick as I am just now. So there's the treehouse, and if we turn to the left, this is where the springs are, and so you can have a look from over here. And this was also the idea, that you can go in and then through the trees you can already see where the springs are. Actually, you know what, while we're at it, we can just move that one a teeny tiny bit over so that the view from the treehouse actually opens up into this area. So let me just go up and let's have a little look. There you go. Now you can finally see the springs from the treehouse. And I think this is really cool. So it gives you an idea where to go. Can we also go, if we go screenshot mode, can we zoom all the way in? Oh, look at that. This is so cool. This is so cool. So now you gotta see that in the background with the Camarasaurus in, and just make it walk. Dang, that looks so cool. I love that. So yeah, you have the view from the treehouse giving you the idea to where you want to go, and we obviously will connect this all with the buildings. This at the moment is just placeholder, so don't you worry about that. And then you come into the river delta. I'm not really sure what we do with this. I think I'm planning to make the river go all the way through here. But for the moment, that's it. So yeah, well, basically, I'm just going to take that one, take the water tool, and then just make it a bit smaller, and the depth with like 3 meters maybe, and then we just go from here just all the way. I wanted to, okay, well, I'm gonna have to get rid of it first. This is so weird. Nah, whatever. So I'm gonna have it here, and then calm water, and we bring it all the way here through the trees, and then yeah, I'm not really sure where exactly I want to go with this, but we will try to merge our way somewhere here through. Look at that. Is this all? Yeah, okay. I thought I was doing something wrong, but I wasn't. So yeah, and now I can show you what I meant with the terrain, where I was struggling a little bit. So if you go then into the terrain thingy and you want to smooth out these corners, if you're not careful enough, it just creates some weird things to the water down here. So you're gonna have to be careful with this. But this is exactly how I want to make the river go. And then, you know, in order to make things look kind of nice, you can always have something like that, and then just, you know, paint some, maybe the intensity could be somehow a bit more heavier. So there you go. And this is, I mean, you know, this is how I obviously most often, or more often than not, try to make my things look good. Just bringing a little bit of depth in, and you can see how much better this looks already than the other side. And you can always just, you know, smooth things out as you go. And can I just have that a bit bigger? There you go. So this is what I will obviously do all off screen, but I think you get the idea. This is where we bring the river through, and it's gonna be all in the background. But yeah, so this is it for today's episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did enjoy building this quite a lot. It was, my god, camera, stop doing this. Yeah, the springs look pretty decent, I guess, and I think this is a very nice little spot to go to and then just enjoy it as like a viewing spot. We will obviously, you know, spend a lot more time to build this staircase kind of nice, and just make sure that we have some entrance sign and stuff like that, so making it all look a lot more together, I think, and finished, and, you know, all these kind of things that are impossible to miss out on. So oh my god, look at this. Is this one just like idling around here because it's not possible to move? I love the one in the water. That's just kind of really cool. I didn't know that they can get so far into the water. I like that. I like that a lot. Anyways, I don't want to make it longer than it needs to be, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I am going to be distracted. Make sure to, you know, check out the other videos as well. There's going to be a lot more in the next coming days, even though I will take it a bit more easy because of Christmas, but then we have got a lot of projects going on. Planet Zoo is coming with a next episode of Hirsch-Egg. We're going to do more in Jurassic World Evolution, and also this game is receiving constant updates on this park, and there's something special planned on Prehistoric Kingdom soon as well, so keep your eyes on the channel. If you're new here, you like the content, or you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. That helps me a lot, and you have seen how much this helps the channel recently, so keep on doing what you do. This is amazing. Thank you so much. As always, have a good time, have a wonderful Christmas, and I talk to you in the next one.